gonna reply to this comment with a video. It's just easier. So basically, bro's point is saying xenoverse's combat lacks variety. Now, I want you to look at this right here. Now, as you can see, dude just hit me with an ultimate. I used an evasive. I tried to use my evasive that teleports to him to kick him. I couldn't get the correct spacing, so I was hit again. He knocked me back again. I think he tried to come up behind me, and I used hit super move, which makes us which basically does a command grab if somebody comes up behind you, and was able to hit him in the stomach. You can go back and look at that. Just that sequence is more unique than anything you will see in Sparking Zero. My first argument for why Xenoverse 2's combat has more variety, bro, is look at a character like Nail in Sparking Zero and look at a character like Nail in Xenoverse. Nail literally has an ultimate that only can be used if the enemy is behind you. It'll only hit the enemy if they're behind you. So how do you get the enemy behind you? Well, Nail's combo strings are made in a way to where you can get that positioning, to where you can have the character end up behind you, so you can use that super move. Another thing that makes Xenoverse 2's combat have way more variety is do you know that in Sparking Zero, most of the characters who have a rush move that's just melee attacks, like Super Vegeta, for instance, go play Super Vegeta, right? Use his rush move. You'll notice that his rush move in Sparking is just one of his normal combo strings in Xenoverse. I kid you not. When he does the little kick to the stomach and it knocks you down, he does the kick to the stomach in Xenoverse. You can follow it up with one of his super moves that knocks you to the ground, and follow up with a Gala Gun or something like that. In Sparking Zero, it literally, you have to use the rush move to do that. Because every character has, in Sparking Zero, you can press square, 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 hold up, and hold triangle, and you'll get the same, most of the characters have the same animation for that. Most of them. Now, mind you, every character in Xeno has the square, square, triangle, all that, but they all look different. All of them look different. This comment is using the example of, well, every Goku basically plays the same. And like, that's fine. A lot of the Gokus have the same combo strings. But then we're ignoring all the other characters who have unique animations and combo strings. And I would know, because I use all of them in PQ Quest. I use almost the whole roster, bro. Gotenks has a fucking, I think it's a square, square, triangle combo where he starts spinning around in a circle around the enemy with his leg out kicking him. And then if you do it for too long, he gets dizzy and stops. That is an example of Xenoverse 2's combat having more variety and uniqueness than Sparking Zero's. And it's like I hate, I'm a person who, bro, like, even if I like a game, you know what I mean? I'm not going to lie for the game, bro. Everything I try to say when I'm speaking on things about a game, not my personal preference. Obviously, my personal preference is going to be skewed, you know, about things I like about it, things I don't like. But when I'm speaking about, like, just the mechanics of the game, I'm only speaking facts. I'm only going to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? In Sparking Zero, bro, he also said, not many of the super moves lead to a cutscene. That's completely false. The only ones that don't are Kamehamehas, and even some of those have a cutscene, but most of them are like Goku's Kamehamehas. You can hold those. Goten's Kamehamehas. A few Kamehamehas. And I'm trying to think of what other moves don't have a cutscene. I'm going to be real with you. I think every other move has a cutscene except the Kamehamehas. Literally, except the Kamehamehas. But this is what I'm saying, why people lie for things that they like, when you can go yourself on every single character on Sparking Zero and tell me that most of the moves don't have cutscenes. Please tell me that. That's not true. Sparking Zero's, most of all their characters, because of the way the combat system works, a lot of them play the same. That's why everybody has a beam. That's why everybody has a rush. That's what it is. Everybody has a beam and a rush attack. Let's even break this down mathematically, bro. Now y'all got me doing math. I hate math. So, in Sparking Zero, every character has 2 skills, a beam, a rush, and an ultimate attack. Multiple combo strings, but a lot of those combo strings look the same. But no matter which combo string you do, you can only end it a few ways, because you can only end a combo string like 4 different ways in Sparking Zero, because you knock them back. You could do a move where you chase them down and knock him to the ground, or teleport behind him. So that's one way. There's with a beam. That's 2. There's with a rush. That's 3. And there's with an ultimate. That's 4. Look at Xenoverse, where there's multiple combo strings, but I'm not even going to do all that. I'm just going to use one. With one combo string, because of the way super moves are easily chainable, 3 regular skill moves, and then you have 2 ultimates. So 3 skill moves and 2 ultimates. That's 5 different moves already, right? 5 different moves already, right? Not even to mention that you can chain a lot of these super moves together quickly, because he also said that you don't have to have a long, that Xenoverse 2 supers have a long animation. The ultimates have a long animation because they're ultimate abilities. Yes, they're supposed to give you time to break the opponent's ultimate if you have time. But the super moves, a lot of them are mad quick. In this video, I don't know if you noticed, but I ended up winning this online match because after getting the knockback, I quickly use Evil Eyes, and Evil Eyes is a super move that pops up right at where the character is. And if you're not paying attention and don't notice it, you're going to get hit by it because you don't know, you might not have never seen that move before, and that's another reason. This is what I'm saying. Xenoverse 2 has more variety simply because you'll see super moves you didn't even know existed. You'll see super moves you don't even know how to react to because there's so many, so much variety in the gameplay. These sequences, if you're watching these sequences, look, I just did the Evil Eyes. If you're watching these sequences happening behind me, this is way more unique than anything you will see in Sparking Zero. In Sparking Zero, bro, if you end up vanishing out of a move, the game will end up locking you into a vanish ward. So you don't even have control over positioning in Sparking Zero. The game literally forces you, if you make a good defensive move to get out of an attack, the game now says, okay, we're going to force you to go back and forth until somebody wins. So it still even gives the opponent a chance to negate your vanish, which is bullshit to me, bro. Like, if you did the skillful thing and timed the vanish correctly, you should be rewarded for that. But no, it's like, no, we're just going to lock you guys back together again. Because, and that's where I'm saying, that's why the playstyle of Sparking Zero just comes down to melee combat, get a super counter, get more super counters and more vanishes off, and you win. That's not possible, bro. There's too much going on. Look, I had a vanish. I had an evasive move that doubles an attack, but because of the input I put, I didn't do the one where I pop up behind him. I did the one where I pop up in front of him. So I still got hit for that. But you seen when he came up behind me for a dash, I had a super move that literally made my character do a command grab behind him and completely stop the dash. That's tough, bro. There's nothing like that in Sparking Zero. There isn't. If you play his hit in Sparking Zero, you can't do that. He has a basically a beam, it's a projectile, and a rush. Those are the things he has. In Xenoverse 2, bro, he basically has all command grab attacks. All attacks that negate your opponent's offense and defense. Because he has a rush attack that is unblockable. Then he has command grabs. He has one for the front. So if they get close enough to the front, boom, command grab. Punch in the stomach. Go into a combo from there. Do whatever you want to do. If they vanish behind you, use his other move that pops up behind you. Stops them. It completely slows down their offense. Deborah, his ultimate in Xenoverse 2 is a counter. You can't even use his ultimate unless they hit you first. There's a couple characters with an ultimate that you can't move unless they hit you first. So this lack of variety shit in Xenoverse 2 is a lie. It's just a blatant lie. I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth, and it's a lie. There's far more variety in Xenoverse 2's combat than Sparking's. It's just point blank, and I just explained it. You're welcome.